Back in September 2010, myself and a few mates crossed the Simpson Desert. There's photos and a few videos from back then. Sorry about the quality of the video because, back then we didn't have GoPros. Pink Roadhouse, obviously one of the places we stopped on the way. Here we are, travelling the outback on our way to Mount Dare Station. We found out later on that this was a once in a 100-year storm event which actually closed the Simpson Desert while we were in there. We didn't know that until we got out, but you'll see later on we couldn't go either direction until later on. So sit back and enjoy some photos. I'll explain some of them. Otherwise, just have a look at the nice scenery. This is Dalhousie Springs. Nice spot to go for a bit of a dip in some warm water. Okay, this is Perny Bore Track between Dalhousie Springs and the edge of the Simpson Desert. As you can see, everywhere you look there was water. The actual track is just on the right there, but that was deeper and muddier. So we opted for just this side, which we made it through, which was good in the end. It's always good when you can make it through. So it was about 10 kilometres of just what you can see on the screen. Mud. Just clagged the tyres and that was it. So we're currently trying to look for where we have to be, which is off in the distance, a little white sign we were tracking down, which we did in the end, so that was another good thing. Nearly had to pull out the GPS to find out where we were, but as I said, in the end we found it. As you can see, we're back on the track again. Came off, went back on a couple of times. Car got a bit muddy. It's the actual start of the Simpson Desert from the Dalhousie Springs side. Just the tracks between the sand dunes. You go over 1,000 sand dunes, ending in Big Red being the hopefully the last one that you do before heading into Birdsville. The lone gum tree, single gum tree in the middle of nowhere. Nice straight track. There was water everywhere in the in between the sand dunes. Up and over the sand dunes we go. Had some nice days, and obviously with all the rain, flowers came out. Yep, there's my friends getting bogged. Map of the Simpson Desert. One of the salt pans, or the areas you've got to cross, which become quite boggy. So we're at the other end of the Simpson Desert now, crossing the Air Creek. Which we thought was going to be a lot worse than that, but we had to drive down the bank to get to the a better crossing point. This is the other side of Air Creek. This is probably a good 5-10 kilometres of this rutted out track. Raining. So here we are trying to attempt to go up Big Red. Obviously this one fails. Still raining. But after a couple of attempts, as you can see, we made it up the top. So that's looking at the top of Big Red from where we came from. You see the water. Birdsville made it. One of the fly-in, fly-out tours that is done to different locations throughout the outback if you pay the money. So Birdsville track was washed away, so obviously it was closed. They did open it many years later. So heading north was the only option that we had, but we had to wait until the council gave the approval that the track was open again, which they did, and we finally got out and headed home. And this is why the track was closed heading north. You can see the amount of water everywhere. So what we basically ended up doing, as you'll see shortly, I would stop on the dry patch, let the first car go through, and then he would stop on the next dry patch, I would come through. So if one of us got stuck in the water, the other one was already out, or would have been able to help get the other vehicle out. Here I am waiting for him to get out the other side of the water crossing, which was basically the road, and then I would travel. crossing the Air Creek again, but this time northbound. The long road north, once we got out of that wet patch, off into the town north of Birdsville. And yes, I did get bogged. Well, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. See you on the next one.